Right, so this is the next project. It's one of our sheds, one of our mini sheds. This is the sports shed. You can see we've got bits and pieces of bike equipment in here. So we had bike gear, camping gear, a bunch of balls, water pistols, all that kind of jazz. And you can see it's got this lovely wheat bix or slash chipboard floor, and over the years, because the roof is not 100% waterproof, where there's been drips on the chipboard, it's kind of rotted away, and there were a couple of spots where there were holes in the floor, and there was another big spot in the middle just over here where I was concerned that either my foot or my wife's foot was going to go through it anytime soon. And so what I've done is ripped up the floor. We're going to put a new floor down. We're going to build some shelves over on the side here, and it should be a sort of nicer and more functional storage space. So the first thing I want to do is rip up this last remaining bit of chipboard and see what's underneath here. One of the issues with the floor is that it's only got I think 6 posts, and the span between the posts is too large for these 100 by 50 joists, and so it's kind of sunk. I think these posts at the back might have sunk a bit too, and it's all on a slope, and you can see that whoever built it has done this lovely kind of interlocking nog system here to try and keep the floor level in the middle, and it, nice try, but it just hasn't worked. And so the joists are all higgledy-piggledy. So we're going to put another bearer along the middle of these joists and get everything nice and level and straight before I put the floor down. So let's rip this off now. My thought was that I would, and I'm not sure if any of these posts have actually been concreted in place, so my thought was I'd go around the posts, get a jack under there, try and lift some of them up, level them, chuck some fast set concrete in there so that the floor is level-ish. I guess it depends how keen I am on digging holes. I'm definitely going to put 3 posts along the middle here as well to raise this middle section here, because that's the worst, that's where it's all over the show. But depending on how kind of straightforward it is, I might do all the corners as well. So let's do that. Along here we've got a downward slope, so I thought I'd have a go at raising this post up. Got my jack here, which I've stolen from Mum's house. Mum, if you're watching this, I've got your jack. And we'll find out, depending on how easy this lifts up, whether these posts are concreted in or not. So I'm just going to give a few pumps on the jack and see what happens. And I can already see that lifting up, and that makes me think that there is no concrete in there. So I'll chuck a level on it here. I'm not sure how much it's going to need to get it raised up to level-ish. Bit more. And that's there, is looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is dig a hole around here and chuck some concrete in there. And as you can see, it actually goes down pretty deep. I don't know what that, if I was really keen I would actually dig out under that post so that we could get some concrete underneath it. Now, I like a good hole as much as the next man.
Oh my god, I still can't believe you just said that!
But the thought of digging around, you know, 3 other holes that deep just sounds too much like hard work for me, especially on a day as hot and humid as this. You can see the sweat is pouring off my face here. So what I'm going to do instead is drive. Got a few galvanised nails here, going to drive those into the post and then put the concrete around that. Once the concrete sets around the nails, that should stop the post from dropping down into the ground any further. So that's pretty much 2 bags of fastcrete. That's the last bag I had in the garage. So if I'm going to do this around any more of the posts, that's going to involve another trip to the hardware store.
It hurt. Squish my finger.
You can do it, come on.
Yeah, come on, my hands are slippery. Come on, it's just concrete. Come on. It is. Oh, bro, really, you could at least lift it up for me.
Come on, get the other end. One end each.
Get the other end. Stand up and lift it up like I am. Come on, that's not that hard. Okay, now lift it up.
Right, throw it in.
Lift it up on my back. My back hurts. Help us. My back.
Right, you do it, Ethan.
Yep,
You got it.
Somehow.
Get out of the way.
Oh.
Excellent. Concrete here has had a good couple of hours to set, so I'm just going to release the tension off this jack, and if with any luck the post will stay where it's supposed to and won't sink. So let's do it. Alright, there we go. It looks like that's all solid and stayed in one place, so that's fabulous. So now the next thing is to repeat this process on the 4 corners. There's another post in the back of the middle, and then I'll have to dig some fresh holes for posts along this centre of this span here. I think watching a video of me dig that many holes and put concrete in them would get really tedious really quickly. So what I'll do is do all that, and I'll see you back here when I'm done and we can move on to the next part. I've concreted all 4 corners, including the one that I didn't think I'd have to do, that I started off from. I had to put some concrete around that because when I was doing this back one here, rather than sinking down, that one was actually lifting up, and I just wanted to keep it in place. I've put concreted posts on either side in the middle to keep that span from sagging, and now the last thing I've got to do is concrete this post here in the centre of everything. But before I do that, what I want to do is I've got this 100 by 50 rough sawn bearer that I'm going to stick underneath all these joists, nail it to these side posts, jack it up into place, and then that might shift these joists in the middle here, and then when that's all in place there with these 2 fixed at the sides, I will put concrete around this post in the middle here and fix the bearer to the post in the middle. That's it. Sheesh, it's a hot one. Alright, so I've got this bearer nailed off at the posts on either side. I've also got it jacked up here with the jack in the middle and nailed off onto this post here. So the only thing that we have to do now is concrete that post in place, and then we should be all good. And you can see that this interlocking nog system that whoever put the shed in the first place actually looks much nicer now that the floor is level or levelish. If we chuck a level on these joists here, it's not perfect, but we've got bubble on the line, which is as good as for an old shed like this. Right, so this post is all concreted in now. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, it's lunchtime. I'm going to go have a beer and make myself a nice sandwich. When I come back, all these posts should be set, and we're going to start working on putting some flooring down on that side over there. Alright, we're back. I've had some lunch, a nice sandwich and a beer, which killed me down momentarily. Even had a swim because it's hot as buggery out there. But anyway, alright, onto the floor. So what we've got here is some old fence palings that I've pulled off a fence that I'm going to demolish, or that I demolished a while ago. And I'm going to use these to make a floor just spanning these three joists here. This is where my shelving unit's going to go. On the rest of the floor there, I'm going to have some other type of flooring, probably some sort of Weet-Bix again. I don't know what, because I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to have to see what I can find at a decent price. But I don't think it's going to matter that we've got two different materials being used, because like I said, this is the shelf and it's going to have stuff stacked along here anyway. I actually think even if you can see it, it's going to look kind of cool. I mean, I think rustic is the key word, but rustic is all good. So what we're going to do, these are about 1600 long, kind of rotten at the bottom there where they're in the ground from the old fence, but there's enough here to make two floorboards there for this little span. So I'm going to now cut these up and get them into place here. So I've cut up all those old fence palings now, and I'm just going to slot them into place. And when I did slot the first one into place here, this bit of wood down here was sticking down too low for it to slot under. So what I just did was I got me handy dandy skill saw and ran it along the bottom there, and just cut a tiny little bit off the bottom of each one of these and chiseled it out, so we've left room to slot these boards into place like that. So I'll take all these, I'll slot them into place, then I'll nail them down, and you can see we've got, you know, all sorts of uneven edges here. So I'll run a straight line once I've got all these into place, and cut with the skill saw and cut them off, so you've got a straight edge there for the rest of your flooring to meet into. When you're putting nails close to the end of your piece of wood, it always helps to drill a hole first, because if you don't do that and you put a nail in there, it tends to split the wood. So I've done it at this end, I've got those nails in. I haven't done it at this end, so I'm just going to drill a couple of holes in there. those nails in. Right, now I'm pretty satisfied that this is all in the right place and I just need to finish that cut off. To do that I need to drive these nails home so they don't get in the way of my skill saw as I'm running it along that line. So let's do that. I'm just cleaning up the edges there where the depth of the skill saw blade wasn't quite enough to cut through. Right, so that's all done there now, and you know, I think it looks pretty good. Like I said before, rustic is the key word, and that's fine for an old shed like this. Before I can build my shelves here, before I can put any more floorboards down over on this side, it's going to take another trip to the hardware store with my trailer, and there's a bit of an issue there, which is going to require me to take an enforced break from this project for a little while, because we've recently bought a new car which doesn't as yet have a tow bar attached to it. So I'm either going to have to wait till that tow bar is attached, which is happening in about 3 weeks time, or otherwise I'm going to have to beg, borrow or steal another vehicle with a tow bar. So until I've sorted that out, we'll take a break, but when I have sorted it out, we'll see you back to finish off the rest of this floor. If you enjoyed that, please hit the like button and or subscribe, and keep an eye out for part 2 coming soon. Until next time.